Well, hello there. Part 2 of Mick's song vlog. It's very weird when you start talking about yourself in the third person. We're into week 3 of COVID-19. We're on lockdown here at home, where it's a weird kind of liberation actually, because as you will all no doubt be all too aware by now, everything is completely weird. But we're going with it, and this forced isolation actually brings an opportunity or two. So I'm kind of letting go of a few inhibitions by doing this vlog for starters, not least my own personal hygiene. Decided I'm not going to shave. Can't cut my hair. So, you know, we're in it, aren't we? So anyway, let's kick off the second round of the vlog. Thanks to everyone who's commented in the first round. Some very kind comments about the track and the approach and everything. And most importantly, I am pleased that it is inspiring people to get out and record some music, because, you know, it's me watching my friends do this that's inspired me to do it, and I hope this inspires you to do it as well. So guitars then. What we're going to cover in this vlog is the basic home recording setup, which, as you'll see come the end of the video, has got to change. I've switched recording applications during this vlog because Universal Audio's Luna came out and I really want to use that. And I've got from having the bare bones of the track to having a couple of guitar parts finished, hopefully. I haven't actually finished them as I'm recording this, but we kind of jump forwards and backwards in time, so let's just get on with it. Right, let's kick off with what I've brought home to use to get some sounds. I'll put a camera on the pedal board so you can see what's on and what's not on and what the settings are, and I'll do that separately, but for now let's run through it. So excuse me if I stand, you'll prefer it because you'll be able to see the guitar. Right, 61 Strat, you know all about this, hopefully. And on the floor, let's start with the two amps are Mesa California Tweed and my 2-watt Classic Reverb Signature. Let's start with the Mesa California Tweed. Sounds like this. To be absolutely honest with you, it's really hard to know what it sounds like because I've got to play so quietly here at home. But I'm quite liking that. Two Rock sounds like this. You're also hearing the Fulltone preamp on that because I've also got the Fulltone tube tape echo in that amplifier. Sounds totally fine on its own, but the magic happens when you have both amps on. It is weird because it's really quiet, but anyway. So I'll go through, the first gain stage is the Gladio from Cornerstone. Pretty cool. I've also got the Hudson Broadcast on the floor. Just because it's a bit grittier, and together with the one side of the Gladio, they sound pretty cool. And then I've got the Belle Epoch Deluxe rigged up pre the gain stages as a kind of slapback. So I'll just turn the gains off a sec. And here's the Belle Epoch Deluxe on and off. And that gets more obvious the more gain you have on, so. I really love it, really love it. Mythos Argo, obviously. Supro Trem, last but not least, Jam Ripley Fall, first in the chorus mode. Phaser. So that's the basic run through the pedal board, and I've got a bunch of other stuff around, like the Strymon Volante you'll see in this video, and some other pedals that are just kind of dotted around the place that I can pull in if I think I need the sounds, if I get that far, as you'll see in the video. Just before we go, one guitar that people ask me a lot about in these videos is the Collings 360 LT, which I don't use on the show very much. This guitar crops up in this video. I've used it on, well, I'm going to use it on one of the parts in the track when it's finished. This has got gold foil pickups in it. People ask about these gold foil pickups. It's also got a capo on the 2nd fret there because I've used it. The song's in E, right? So I've capoed on the 2nd fret. I've tuned the E string down to D, well, the F sharp down to E, and I'm playing like a D shape, which would be an E chord, right? Because the capo's in the 2nd position. such a great sound. I'll tune it back up to normal so you can just hear it for a sec. I've just turned the Belle Epoch Deluxe off. That be the basic rig. Onwards. Right, we should record this moment. I'm having one of the worst hair days in history. I've been out this morning doing gardening work and got kind of a bit sunburned. However, I've come back in and we're still in COVID-19. It's the day after I did the first vlog and I've just put down the first proper guitar part. It was that really nice sort of clean bit. I decided to record it fully wet, so I've used a Strymon Volante in stereo into the Mesa California Tweed and the 2-Rock, and I've mic'd them left and right, and I've recorded the whole thing fully wet because the sound was so great. I was really into it. Played the old Strat, the old 61. It's a great sound, I really like it. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I'm not gonna vlog every single guitar take because that would just do me in, I think. So anyway, I think it was important to vlog the first one, the first proper guitar take done in the can. Hello, here we are again. So I'm going to try something a little bit creative today. I learnt this off an old friend of mine, Martin Holmes, and Martin did all the production, may still do actually, for Guitarist magazine, the video demos and stuff. And I worked with Martin a lot over many years doing demos, and Martin helped me get disciplined in recording, playing simply, being efficient in workflow and all those kind of things, which I'm super grateful for. But Martin also had quite a few tricks up his sleeve, and one of the things he used to like to do every now and again was do a reverse kind of fade into a track. So the way you do it is you record a power chord with a very definite start, and then you let that sustain, and then you reverse it. So I'm going to try that for the front of the track. It might be a bit cliched, but I want to try it anyway because I think it's a fun thing, and it's just, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I've got a fairly fat sounding guitar. I think that's quite important for this because it needs to sound quite smooth through its waveform there. And I'm just going to set up a sound on the 2 amps, fairly distorted sound probably. I'll try and film some details of whatever the pedal settings are, but you'll just have to sort of bear with me as I do this with the camera pointing at the screen, but maybe I can edit it so it makes a bit more sense. So yeah, let's try this then. Let's try this. So as you can hear, the guitars are pretty loud currently. I'm going to turn those down. Just going to arm up console on the UAD recording stuff so you can hear what I'm playing. There you go. So that's the basic sound. I'm going to turn that down and get it much more gainy. Okay, I've got no idea if that's going to work, but let's record one and see what happens. The good news is it doesn't matter where I'm going to record it, because obviously once it's done I'll affect it and put it in the right place. So what I'll probably just do is have the drums on to keep me in time. So I've got no idea if that's going to work. I'm going to put some chorus on it and see if that works. We're a bit on the edge with the, you know, how I'm recording this, because I want to get it done and I can't think too much about cameras and voice mics and stuff, so this is what it is, all right? Right, so let's take one of these. That looks like a good strong one. I had to pause. I couldn't find the track editor. You have to have a preference clicked on in Logic to allow destructive audio editing. So anyway, here we are. What you do is, I'm sorry you can't really see this clearly from back there. I should do a screen capture, but I'll explain it as I'm going along. So here are our audio files. Sorry, they're very small in the screen. Here are audio files for the reversed guitar. To reverse them, you can do it a couple of ways, I believe. Anyway, the way I know how to do it is to double click it, go to the file menu where you change the audio, and in the function there's just one called reverse. So we'll do that for both of those, and then we'll see what it sounds like reversed. Now, that one kind of doesn't really finish quickly on the end, because I obviously fluffed the beginning of it, so you really do need to get a strong start to the note. So let's try this one. So you can hear my at the beginning. So we might cheat a bit. Move. And by the way, you know, I'm definitely not averse to messing about like this and moving stuff. You know, to get it all in the take is not necessary. You can cheat to your heart's content when it comes to recording. We're in here on the track, so that's where it's got to end, right? So let's shorten this up a bit. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to leave it, and we'll see. So let's now drown it in reverb. Or something, and just see if that makes it sound any less rubbish. I don't know, is it really rubbish and is it a bit cheesy? I'm going to leave it there for the time being, and maybe once it's EQ'd and some other things, it'll work. Anyway, there you go. Hope that was interesting. Hello, I'm down here. Right, I'm going to come over here because it's easier. You join me as I'm going to literally track the first thing I've ever tracked in Luna. I haven't got cameras on everything, so I don't have a camera on the screen, but this is literally the first guitar track I'm ever going to track in Luna, so I want to capture this moment. I don't know the part yet, but I've just plugged the amps in and it sounds blooming brilliant, so I'm going to go with it. Just press record for the first time. Hello. Are we recording? Yes, we're recording. Crazy sunny day, so the light's going to be all over the place. Never going to moan about that. There's clouds in and out. Okay, so let's finish this section off. Where have we got to? We've spoken about getting some guitar sounds, and as I hinted in the last instalment, or in the last section, the guitar rig's got to change because it seems that what I'm doing in the house here is too loud. Surprise, surprise, you know, taking a step into the real world, as so many of you would like us to do a bit more often. Yeah, it's just too loud. Catherine's saying that it's probably going to... We don't have a very close neighbour, but the neighbour we have is close enough to be annoyed by it, probably, and we don't want to upset him. So I thought, what better opportunity then to try something different? So I've got Oxbox hooked up to the 2-rock, and it's heading on in to Luna. Quick tour of Luna then. So as I mentioned in the last instalment, I was going to be switching to this when it came out. It's come out. Sorry, I haven't shaved or anything. It's come out, and I want to use it because it integrates with the Universal Audio hardware that Dan and I use. Now, I appreciate this is sounding a bit like a blooming Universal Audio commercial, but in all seriousness, the difference that UA made to our lives in terms of the quality of the audio, as being someone who's not particularly experienced in these things, when you find something that you can trust and sounds good, I'm all in at that point. So anyway, Luna, I like the look of Luna. I managed to... What I did with you remember the drums when I first programmed, they were MIDI, right? What I didn't know how to get that out of there. You can export MIDI and re-import it if you want, but I don't know. I thought what I would do is separate it out into individual tracks and export it as audio. So now what I've got, a bunch of drums. Here's all the drums. I've made them all grey on separate tracks. So let's have a listen to the drums on the separate tracks in Luna. Nice. Then I can edit those in terms of level and stuff. Obviously I haven't done any mixing yet, but here's the mixer view in Luna. You'll notice that I've got them going to a couple of buses here. One is the Ocean Way Studios reverb, which off sounds like this. Which is good fun. And then go into the Neve summing console. I have literally no idea what analog summing is, but it's on, and when it's on, it sounds like this. And when it's off, it sounds like this. I don't know, it just sounds more roomy and warm to me, but I'll get used to that as it goes on. And for anyone pulling their hair out at the moment, there have been a few people moaning at me because I don't know how to use DAWs. Well, get over it, because no, I don't. Here's the bass in as well. Kind of a bit too loud. Obviously, I'm going to get someone to help me with mixing because I really don't understand that. Here are those nice ambient clean guitars that we heard. Oh, except I need to turn them on. Okay, so there's all of that. Now, I have recorded some guitars, as I mentioned. One was the with the Collings, yeah. All in your left ear. Then what I did was I recorded it using aux, same guitar, same pedal. I changed the tremolo setting and added a massive reverb. I'm quite pleased with that, so if you want to hear it in the context of the rest of the track. Here's Aux and Luna then. This is a take. Not one that I'll keep probably, but in any case, seeing as we talked about aux and we went through some sounds on the Strat, let's do the same through this. It's really very different from the mics on the speakers, but that's okay. So here you go. What have we got then? Here is the, this is the Gladio. Adding more room reverb. Here's the half of the Gladio with the broadcast. Bit too gainy. Belle, Epoch, Deluxe and broadcast. There you go. That was this, what was that? Phaser, Gladio, Collider reverb, which I've added, and yeah, that's that. Okay, let's just a really quick flick through those. I find it virtually impossible to play because I just can't feel it, but I think for tracking parts it's going to work. I think the wife's shouting at the cat. No, at a bee. Probably shouting at a bee. We've got a lot of bees in today because it's sunny. Right, well there we are. I think let's draw this episode to a close. So, really interesting. I've kind of come to a conclusion on a couple of things. One is, before I put any guitars down properly, I have really got to do my homework, get woodshedding and routine the parts, because I'm just working them out as I go, and everything you've heard so far is kind of ideas rather than a solid guitar part which I can commit to. I'm minded to mention Paul Stacey, Honk, who once told me a story about learning a really simple, in fact he was telling me and Dan a really simple story about learning a part for when he was playing with Tom Jones, and it was a simple part, it was super simple, and he said he spent 10 hours routining it because he wanted it to become the kind of muscle memory that he just didn't have to think about whatsoever, and so he could play the part with conviction, and instead of thinking about, you know, playing the notes, he was just delivering the emotion of the playing, and that all might sound a bit hippie-ish. Now, what we've also done here is introduced a silent recording system. Now, it doesn't sound anything like the mic'd cabinet, but it does sound really good, and I'm really pleased with the way it sounds, but it does totally change the way I have to play the guitar. That's the bit. In some ways, it feels like it's more suited to studio recording because you're in a slightly more clinical situation where you need to deliver take after take of consistent accuracy for this kind of music, and maybe it's a little easier on the ears than having an amp blasting in your face for a day. That gets wearing on anybody. I think recording the solo, I put a scratch one down just to see, because you know you can't resist, can you? You have to play the solo, don't you? You have to play the solo. Here you go. Let's have a quick listen to that. That'll be fun when I do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that into aux silently in my ears. I might have to go to the TPS studio to do that and actually play loud and feel it and get the response back to the speakers. Anyway, as you know, I could talk all week about that, Dan, and I can talk all week about that. But what's to say then? So pleased with how the track's shaping up. I've got totally immersed in the tech at the expense of the tune at this point because I haven't worked out any parts. Still haven't worked out the vocal melody, still haven't written the lyrics, so I've just gone down this rabbit hole of getting some tracks down, made the jump to Luna, which I would say took me about half an hour. There's still things that I need to look for that I can't quite find quickly enough, but certainly arming tracks, recording, finding the mixing tools, adding plugins, using the buses, has been completely straightforward. So I'm really happy about that, and it integrates, as I said, it integrates with the Apollo Twin X and also our Apollo APs seamlessly so far. Next episode then is going to be, I think, a return to first principles. It's going to be forget about all this, hopefully, and it's going to be routine the parts, learn those parts, play them simply, play them as effectively as I can, and with as much kind of heart as I can. That is episode 3. Hopefully by the end of episode 3 we'll have all the guitars done, which doesn't feel as far away now as it felt 3 hours ago. So yeah, I think it's shaping up pretty good. Okay, it is Easter Day. It's Easter Sunday on whatever that is, the 11th of or the 12th of April, whatever that is. Anyway, it's the Sunday. It's beautifully sunny. I'm going to go outside, try and regain some life. after this. And hope you're all coping well with the COVID lockdown and not going too crazy. I have to say, this is keeping me occupied. Okay, that's it for now. We'll see you on Friday with a regular show. Thanks for watching.